Robert Rodriguez, like, blew my mind. I worked with you for a day and you've changed my perspective on the universe.
Well, you weren't the only one whose mind was blown, Gina. Later in this video, I'm going to share what exactly Robert Rodriguez did that completely blew me away and made me appreciate all the creative effort behind The Mandalorian. But first things first, I don't know how many of you were watching my early Season 2 prediction videos. If you do remember them, feel free to mention it in the comments. But I was saying from the start, if Boba Fett is to ever make a comeback in Star Wars, The Mandalorian is the place to do it. I mean, let's face it, if it didn't happen in The Mandalorian, it probably wouldn't happen anytime soon in any medium.
Everybody loves Boba. He's a great character, and it's about authenticity and at times connectivity to other parts of Star Wars we know, when it makes sense. And where should that character appear? Probably in this show.
I must say, it feels so rewarding to have a very specific thought process regarding the creative decisions made within the IP, and then hear the actual creatives behind it all, such as Dave Filoni, explain their thought process that seemingly completely aligns with yours. To elaborate on this, I hated the idea of Palpatine's return. Now, if you enjoyed the movie, that is completely fine. I have nothing personal against anyone involved in that movie. And I think in some ways the movie was actually quite good. I would never insult anyone because we have different views or just like different things. How boring would life be if we all liked the same things? When I saw the trailer for Rise of Skywalker for the very first time, I was like, wow, this is so cool. And then I thought about it for a couple of hours and realized that it honestly makes little sense, seems rather desperate, and even diminishes the original trilogy, the absolute staple of the mythology of Star Wars. A classic example of hero's journey. Sure, there is a way to write around that, so the OT still makes sense, but you should not have to write around anything, but rather expand on things, much like Filoni did with the prequels and the Clone Wars, and now The Mandalorian, and for example Boba Fett. He completely gets it, he completely understands the nuance when it makes sense to include some small little detail, be it a comic book, a video game, or something else entirely. It just feels to me that John and Dave truly understand Star Wars and appreciate all types of audience. They are doing what feels right to them, and The Mandalorian is the perfect example of fan service done right, in my opinion. What is fan service even at this point? I feel like it is often viewed as something that is done that doesn't really make sense for the main narrative, to appease a niche audience. In my mind, that is a rather flawed view. We need these types of creative producers that guide other creatives, such as Robert Rodriguez, in the right direction, while also giving them the creative freedom that they need.
I was 9 years old when the first Star Wars came out, saw it again and again, and in all its re-releases, and I was already a huge Boba Fett fan before Empire Strikes Back even came out. So Boba was a star before the film ever premiered, and had us kids just so excited to see the movie and to see him in it. And anything called a bounty hunter back then was just cool. And the fact that you couldn't see his face shrouded him in mystery. You know, he was a flip side to Han Solo. So to illustrate what I was talking about, I took my Boba Fett and Stormtrooper Halloween costumes and put them on my sons and went into the backyard and filmed Boba's arrival. Since I didn't have stuntmen at my disposal, I used my Star Wars action figures, because a picture is worth 1,000 words and helped me just communicate what I was going for with the crew. When I first showed it to John and Dave Filoni, Dave said, "Wait a minute, were those just action figures I saw?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I didn't have anything else on hand." And he said, no, you don't understand. That makes it the coolest animatic ever. And I just thought, these are my people.
With Rodriguez here. Season 2 of The Mandalorian.